First of all, Samuel, thank you for joining me today.
Beautiful to be with you.
So, getting this thing started, would you be able to give us a little bit about who you are and what you do exactly?
There are two answers I could give to this question. And the essential answer would be that the being that I am is the very same being that all being is. And through this expression, Samuel, there is an invitation to directly experience the reality of this being as what it essentially is, this infinite, eternal peace, happiness, or completeness, and love.
Beautiful. So, you said it's an invitation. How would you say we go about accepting the invitation?
If someone's finding themselves already watching this video, they've already accepted the invitation.
Yeah, right. In some sort of way.
Yes. And the interest or the love for discovering truth is already accepting the invitation. And who is it that is accepting the invitation? It is our being that is accepting itself, that is inviting itself to itself within ourself.
Yeah. It's like an invitation to your own party. I feel that. Wow. Okay. So, I mean, hey man, how did you start to see this for yourself? You know, how did this realization, this understanding, this insight come into the being of Samuel?
Well, first of all, there was great psychological suffering, which I feel again is another invitation. It's a red flag in our experience that indicates to us that something is wrong. And that intuition is correct, that something is wrong. We've taken ourselves to be an entity that is separate and limited, that we essentially are not. So that psychological suffering that arose in me was the red flag to ask myself, what is the true nature of happiness? What is the true nature of being? And it was that question that led to reading books, meeting teachers, and inquiring into the nature of my experience to discover the limitless reality. And for that to just be more and more established through successive glimpses of that experience, such that the timelessness of the substance of reality, being myself, becomes more and more evident, meaning the veil of believing ourselves to be separate ceases to appear due to the clarity of the awareness that is aware of the mind. The awareness that is aware of the mind sees that any belief in ourself is not fundamental to what we are.
Yeah. So, essentially, it starts off as some sort of exhaustion in trying to find happiness and false promises in the illusion of Maya, we could say. And that misdirection is actually what directs us into this true self, this true seeing. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that was a question. That was sort of like a question. Yeah. Yeah, that's what most people say, man. Is suffering brings us to God. Our dis-ease is what brings us into the inevitable search for ease. And you don't have to search very far. That's the thing, is ease is innate. Ease is here and now, hidden in plain sight. That's the irony.
Yeah.
Right?
The big cosmic joke.
It is. I had the thought last night that God, and you don't even have to say God, you can say the universe, the grand order of it all, whatever, is the greatest comedian of all time.
Yeah.
And it's always one step ahead of you with the jokes. Just when you thought you get it all figured out, nope, there's always another joke there. Sometimes, I'm not going to lie, the joke is a little dark. The humor is a little dark. But if you're still enough, I feel like you'll be able to get the punchline. If you're not looking elsewhere, you'll be able to get the joke. I like comedy. I like to say I'm some sort of jester, so that's what I resonate with.
Yeah.
Others might not. But I feel like it's just funny. This whole experience is kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Humor itself is an aspect of the divine in essence, because for the divine, which is the awareness that it's aware of all the content of our phenomenal experience, it sees everything from its non-paradoxical absolute unity. So it sees the duality, it sees the comparison and the competition and the interplay, and encases all of it. And it's that seeing of the paradox that allows us to laugh.
Yeah.
To see that we've been seeking ourself. So this idea, we've been seeking ourself, yeah. We see that from ourself. And we see how hilarious it is to believe that we could be other than that.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's silly. It's like, oh, you know, again, we're playing a joke on ourselves. Yeah, I mean, let's dissect humor, right? What is humor? It's so human, first of all. It's very innate. I don't think other animals laugh, at least not to the extent that we laugh. So there's something very particular about humor in that way. It's very hard to describe, but let's try and have some fun here and try and describe what humor is and laughter.
Yeah.
It's, I think, in some sort of way, we get this laughter, this like uncontrollable urge to just like release energy. I don't even know what it is. That's also hard to describe what laughter is. When we realize something that we didn't quite realize at the surface level. So as you said, like when you see the paradox or when you get the punchline of a joke, something just clicks. It's like something in our brain just goes, it's like an aha, it's like a eureka moment. And you can't help but laugh. I also like to say that laughter is the best feeling in the world. It's better than an orgasm because I don't want to get too crude.
Oh, it's not.
All right, I'm just going to say it because you can control when you orgasm, right? It's like you can control that. So it's not really that special and novel. It feels good, obviously. But laughter, like uncontrollable laughter, I can't just do that right now. It's very novel and particular to certain circumstances and certain moments. And it's truly the best feeling in the world. We all know what that feels like. And we also know how rare that is to just be bellowing in laughter.
Yeah.
But that's what I feel like this realization brings us to. It's like an ultimate constant laughter. I'm not always laughing. That'd be a little psychotic. But there's always that like little child giggling inside at the sort of ludicrousy of it all. It's not ludicrous in a bad way. It's like just, I couldn't think of a better word because ludicrous is almost like, oh, it's chaotic in some way, but it's silly, right? It's a constant silliness in some sort of way. Sometimes I forget. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I forget to laugh. I'm not perfect, but I think with enough presence and stillness and practice, one can start to laugh a little more in their life, you know? And that amounts to just enjoying life. I think laughter, enjoyment, bliss, Satchit Ananda, they all go hand in hand, right? Unless you become like children, then you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven, a wise man once said. And what are children usually doing? They're laughing, whimsically, playing, curious, and free. Again, another buzzword we can throw in there.
Yes.
Liberation, freedom. You know?
Yeah, laughter comes from our freedom. To feel that we are infinite, to feel that we are limitless, that there are no borders to ourself, this presence. And then to feel that the borderlessness of our presence is the very fabric of the limitations that appear as our bodies, the tensions that are inevitable as the consequence of having a body, and feeling that infinity channeling itself through the body and creating laughter. To me, that's what laughter is. It's noticing the limitations from the perspective of our unlimitedness. And that's what the bliss is. That's what the uprising of this energy is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same with
You
love.
can't help but laugh. Of course,
Like,
there's another one. Yes.
The urge to merge, to feel so close. We are already one. And yet to feel the sense of coming together, however that manifests. Friends coming together, hugging, sharing a conversation, ideas bouncing back and forth, understanding expressed and understood together. We long in our experience to be so close. We're already one, but it's that oneness that makes us feel, I want to just come so close, the closest as possible, and yet we'll never come fully close in manifestation because there's always these limitations. And yet we don't need to go all the way because we're already there.
Exactly. The beauty is we'll never get to that closeness. It's a never-ending chase, but that's the good news. It's like we don't give up the chase, but also at the same time recognize that we're never going to get what we're chasing in each other. I'm talking about like this enjoying in this bliss together, this union. We'll never be fully unionized, but that is the good news. It's an ever-evolving play, dance of Shiva and Shakti, you know? That's the play. And that's the non-duality. It's the oneness and the separation seemingly playing with each other, you know? And yeah, that's what it's all about is finding this with the others that aren't really the others, you know? What's better than laughing by yourself? It's laughing with others. What's better than dancing by yourself? It's dancing with others. That's the point of this whole thing. It's like finding yourself in somebody that isn't really yourself. That's the play. That's the dance of dualism or the dance of the Tao. And it's just for that sake. Nothing more, nothing less. It's just the dance. Right? It's just like a dance, an actual dance, like the metaphor of a dance. We don't do it for any other reason, unless you're on like, you know, some kind of talent show. You don't dance for any reason other than just dancing. You know, you just get lost in what it is. You're lost with your partner or partners, just seemingly flowing together. So I think we can take that metaphor into all aspects of our life. If you can try and dance in all aspects of your life, even if it doesn't seem danceable, you may find just more enjoyment, right? Just more enjoyment with others. If you can dance the dance of separation and simultaneous undercover unity. Yeah.
Yeah, to meet the other from the unity and to feel the other is myself. And if there is a movement of separation, which there inevitably is in creation, then just to bring that together. This is the essence of Tantra, not necessarily sexual practices, but the Tantra of merging everything with everything.
Yeah.
Like everything is already merged, but then if there is a sensation of somehow separation, to then bring our imagination, our creativity to merge everything with everything. And that never gets to the bottom. There's no end to that.
Yeah. There's no bottom, and it also never gets old. That's the beauty. It's an ever-present renewal, right? You feel ever more invigorated because the novelty never ends in how one can dance. You're always going to meet a new person, a new situation, a new circumstance in which you can love, in which you can dance the dance of love. It's truly glorious and beautiful. I mean, anybody listening that doesn't know any better, they're probably like, wow, these guys are insane. What are they talking about? They gotta lay off the drugs or something. I understand. I get it. You just have to feel it yourself. Like, you just kind of have to feel the love yourself, and it becomes apparent. It becomes just obvious. It's very obvious also when you're in the presence of somebody that is loving, you know? When somebody is just open and in love with you, first of all, they got their door open. It's just like, it's contagious, you
Yeah,
know?
it's so much effort to hate, to resist, to
Yeah, right?
create separation, because
Yeah.
love is our effortless nature. We are love. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's, again, that's the joke, because we still seemingly have that play of separation. You know, we still have the hate in the world. We still have the fear, and we still have that, just delusion, grand delusion. But I guess, as we said in the beginning, that's eventually going to take us into a world of love. I know
yeah.
this sounds so corny and hippie-ish, but it really is the truth, man. I think eventually we're all going to be living in some kind of realm where we all get along. Right? I think we're all supposed to innately get along. That's the thing. You know, we're all supposed to, we're all just supposed to be one community, one enormous sangha.
Hmm.
All right, one being.
Hmm.
And we're not there yet, obviously, but I do think eventually we will reap our karma. We will learn the lessons, per se, and get to this unitary state on Earth and maybe throughout the cosmos. Do you feel that? Do you think this is realistic? Am I being a little too idealistic? Or do you think that someday people will see how we see it, and we'll live in heaven?
Hmm. My intuition is that it's inevitable, because it is
Yeah,
already the source of everything and the substance of
exactly.
everything. It's so obvious. It is already
Yeah.
here. So it requires a lot of maintenance to create the belief that we're separate entities, and all of the stories that go
Mm,
along with that, all the actions that go along with that. So that energy will exhaust itself eventually.
yeah, I think so.
And
Yeah, because that energy. Oh, sorry, Joe, something to say. Go ahead.
and the rest of manifestation is informing everyone. So the totality of this intelligence is informing everyone, giving everyone glimpses and hints at every given moment of
Yeah.
this truth.
Yes. Yeah, the signs are always there, right? Always, no matter what. For everybody too. Nobody is neglected from the signs that one will be shown. It's just like, are you seeing it or not?
Mm. Just like the experience of happiness, love, peace, beauty. The moment that we have that experience, we know that there is something transcendental to the normal flow of our life, because we've touched something that is absolutely complete. We may not conceptually refer to it in our mind this way, but the experience of happiness is utter completeness. So that's why we seek it in the mind, because we're looking for that completion.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
inevitably it will come that we will recognize this happiness that is the glimpse already of our true nature will just come through and announce itself.
Mm. Inevitably, we will complete it, or it will be complete. Yeah, I know what you mean. And I feel that pull, like the pull of love, to be conducive to this pull of love, or this like force that is bringing us into this natural state of mind. There is this inclination to sort of bring others along, the bodhisattva ideal. You know, I try to, at least, I don't know, show that it's real, and in the least amount of my effort that I can do is like be a testament that it's real for others to tap into for themselves. I feel like that's the least that I can do, is just kind of throw it out there. But it's not coming from this is how I feel right now. It's not coming from any sort of like conditional aspect. It's just coming from, this is just some sort of natural pull to utilize the character of Gary. You know what I mean? Like, what else can I do as Gary than to kind of spread the word that this is possible? So that's why I come on here with people like you, because it's like, oh, you see it too?
You're not crazy?
Yeah, like, it's not just me. So yeah, do you feel that? Let me ask you that one. Do you feel like this pull toward to just talk about this stuff? Obviously, you got a YouTube channel. So
yeah.
Is it just like natural inclination that you feel to talk about this?
Like this, I was describing this infinity of being. It is complete. And as it channels itself through this body and mind, it just longs to express itself. I mean, that's all that it wants to do, is just express itself. And it's expressing itself as everything all the time. But when there's that veil of believing that we're limited, then that expression gets limited. It gets filtered through that belief. But now that there is just the infinity of being filtering through the body, then the expression is just the completeness, the peace, the love, wishing to share itself clearly with all of itself. Yeah. Like, hey, myself, you don't need to believe all of these ideas and stories about yourself. You are already the peace, the happiness, the love that you seek. Just recognize it. It's so simple.
Seriously. It's almost too simple. Yeah. And in that way, it's almost unfiltered. I mean, it is still filtered to like a certain flavor. You know, I filter it in the way of Gary. You do it in Samuel. The Buddha does it in the Buddha's way, and all the sages have their own certain flavor to the Dharma, I like to say. But it's the same message. Just trying to get out there.
Yeah.
It's just, it's yourself trying to wake yourself up, as we said in the beginning, trying to invite yourself to the party. But that's what's cool, right? Is that we all have our own flavor to the Dharma. We are our own piece to the grand puzzle, right? It's simultaneously recognizing the uniqueness of our separateness, but also paying homage to the one.
Yeah.
That's the simultaneous dance again. So it's like, don't negate your separateness. Don't negate how unique you are to this grand mystery, this grand puzzle, the special purpose that you fill. Honor that. Just not too much pride. If you go a little too far, then that's when the ego gets in. So it's a balance between pride and humility, I feel, empowerment in oneself and ultimate surrender in the one. Yeah. Sorry, did you have something to say?
And that honoring and humility, which is equal, comes just from seeing that this creation, this Gary and this Samuel that arise, is utterly spontaneous. It's a surprise to ourselves. We cannot lay claim on the ownership of it as being owned by a separate entity. It's owned by the totality. Gary and Samuel are both owned by the totality. Everyone is expressing their self through ourselves, through Gary and Samuel.
Yes. Just gotta take a deep breath on that one. Exactly. Yeah. That's why we can do what we do on here, because honestly, man, I feel like I just come on here to have a good time. I'm not trying to put on a show. I mean, literally, it might look like a show, obviously, like what we're doing right now. I got the camera and the microphone, but I'm not I'm not like trying to dance for shekels or something over here. It's just, I'm hanging out, having a good time with you. And that's it. Like, there's no other conditions, no other boundaries to what we're doing right now. And that's why I think, as you said, it can be channeled, is because I'm not doing it for me. I mean, I am to have a good time, but it's like, if I want to truly have a good time, there is no conditions on what I'm doing it for, if that makes sense. Right? The best time that we can have together is no conditions based upon our interaction, other than just interacting. That's it, really. Other than just hanging out, having a good time. Yeah. I hope that made sense.
Yeah, dancing together.
Yeah,
Like we're
exactly.
not
Back to the
dancing to
dance.
land on a specific move or a place on the dance floor, or to
Yeah,
have a specific kind of choreography play itself out. Just loving the dance.
just
And
loving the
even if
dance.
we do have a formulated choreography that we've developed together and we would like to bring forth, that came utterly spontaneously whilst we were off the dance floor planning.
Mm-hmm.
And again, when it gets executed on the dance floor, it's completely spontaneous. And
Yeah,
it's one movement, one flow.
one improv.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, spontaneous creativity. That's what I feel comes from this wavelength. And there's also something very useful about um the word, your voice, like coming on here and just speaking what wants to be spoke is extremely powerful. I would recommend that to anybody listening. Use, I mean, you don't even have to upload it or really put anything out to the public, but just utilize your word,
Hmm.
you know, write a diary, a journal, sing, write poetry. There's something just very visceral about opening up the throat chakra,
Hmm.
we could say, right? I think that gets one in tune with the dance very effectively. Like if you really want to know how to dance, you have to know how to speak. And not even, like I said, actual verbally speak. There's something about language that I think gets one in tune with the Tao. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. That's what I feel, at least. I can only speak for myself.
Oh, yeah.
I've done this over 300 times, and
Hmm.
I feel like who I was, Gary, who I was, the character I was playing at the beginning to the character now, I've lived lifetimes. Like this whole experiment of me coming on here with people like you has been probably the most powerful practice, the most powerful part of my sadhana.
Hmm.
And I've done it all, man. In terms of the spiritual gamut, in terms of exploration of consciousness, expansion of awareness, I've done it all. And this is the number one thing, is just utilizing my voice, asking the right questions, and coming on here and hanging out with people that might be a little wiser than I am. So yeah, that's all I would recommend to anybody listening in the future is utilize your voice in some way. Utilize the power of language in some way, and that'll take you to the dance. That'll be the
Hmm.
acceptance of the invitation from yourself. At least the opportunity is there. Like I said, I can only speak from my own journey.
And there's so much power in the voice coming forth to try to describe that which is silence, the
Yeah.
ineffable presence of
That's
being.
the joke again.
Yeah. The words coming forth, knowing immediately that every word that is spoken cannot accurately describe what reality is, and yet
Yeah.
from this presence of reality, just speaking forth. And knowing that it's the transmission of the experience itself that transmits itself, or the love of contemplating the truth, which is identical. The love of contemplating the truth is already coming from the openness to the truth and the experiential shining of that.
Mm.
And there's an attempt to put into words like being, reality, isness, awareness, consciousness, all of these words that refer directly to an experience that is beyond the mind. They refer to a presence in which they arise. They're not concepts, when used in the way that we're using them, that refer to intellectual theories or other concepts. They refer directly, if we ask, what is being? What is consciousness? We refer directly to the experience. And it is that silent affirmation of itself that shines.
Mm. Beautiful. Yeah, well spoken. It's like we use the word to transcend the word. With the right intention, coming from the right person, the word is extremely powerful. The word became flesh.
Yeah, the word, when coming from the intention to describe the truth,
Yeah.
is already coming from the truth trying to confirm itself, but it's using the mind to try to do that. but it's using the mind in a way that is relaxing the attention on the mind into the very substance of the mind. So the intention to discover truth is already truth shining, because the moment that we're interested in discovering truth, we're no longer interested in the lie, which is the beliefs about reality, the beliefs about ourselves. And if we catch ourselves noticing that this is a belief that I'm a separate entity, it's not a fact, it's a belief, it's a choice I'm making in this moment. And I can use my reason, my intellect, my words to debunk this belief by looking at the evidence of my experience and discovering what the fact is. And the fact is...
The fact is. That's it. The fact is. Yeah. Oh. I like how you said debunk. I like that. That's good. I never heard anybody put it that way. It's like we use the word to debunk the beliefs. We use the word almost against itself, because it can be tricky. You can get lost in somebody's very eloquent words. You can get lost in somebody's charisma.
Yeah, so it's important to clarify for yourself. You use the reason that maybe has been given by a teacher or a book, and then you test it for yourself. So you use the reason as a series of words and contemplations to then clarify in your own experience. You leave the suggestion that there is another being who has more authority on the nature of your experience than you. You leave that idea aside and you just refer to the authority of your direct experience. You are the only one that can know you directly. So you can use words, you can use reason to then look at the content of experience and the nature of consciousness and see clearly, because you are consciousness, the nature of consciousness, and whether there is any separation between consciousness and the content of experience.
All said.
It can be so simple. We do not need to make it highly complex. It's so simple just to see there is consciousness and there is the content of experience. And for consciousness to be conscious of the content of experience is already to clarify that there is a oneness, there is a seamless, inseparable continuity of consciousness and the content. See, that's a simple line of reasoning using words that we apply to our own experience. We just ask ourselves, what is consciousness? What is the nature of experience?
Well spoken. Yeah. I don't even know what to say to that. That was good. It is that simple. That consciousness is primary. That's what one has to see. And everything else is seemingly secondary. Consciousness comes first. Everything else flows out of that pure stillness, that pure consciousness. Everything that is arising, that is a sense of separateness, is secondary. It's like one step behind the consciousness. It's 1 second behind the moment. Yeah. And once you believe in it, you've already lost the game. You know, once you believe that that is primary, whatever someone's looking at right now, their phone screen, their computer screen, whatever is in front of them, all of that is a sort of effect. The cause is this consciousness, Brahman. That is where it all stems from. And essentially that is what we are in the most absolute and truest sense. That is what we are past these bodies. We are that pure, innate, ineffable consciousness that I find myself just at odds with my words trying to describe. It's just awe, right? It's just simple awe. Yeah. That's what one can see for themselves. And if any teacher says otherwise, or any guide says otherwise, like you need me to be able to see this and get the magical powers of realization, That ain't it. Run the other way. They're a charlatan. Because as you said, it's just it's you seeing you. It's you seeing this for yourself. And it's not complicated. It's really not.
Yeah. You could just hear the intuition within yourself that consciousness is constant and the content of my experience is constantly changing. So consciousness must be fundamental. The content is coming and going. So that could be an intuition that just arises in you, in your personal field. But there is also value seeing a teacher or seeing another person because they are in fact yourself. So if they are speaking directly from the experience of being yourself, being the only reality, then they're speaking from this unconditional love of inviting you to directly experience for yourself what the truth is. So they may just say something as simple as, notice that consciousness is the only ever-present reality to your experience. So that's a statement that comes, and first of all, maybe we're dubious because we think this guy is a narcissist because he believes he's God. But we check it out because there's some intuition there that what he might be saying is the truth. So we leave him or her aside and we just refer to our direct experience and then we discover it for ourselves. And then we look back at the teacher and say, you're not really my superior. You are myself. We are one. We are the same. And if the teacher does think that they are superior and you find that out, then run.
Yeah, exactly. There are plenty of good teachers, for sure. I'm not going to talk shit about teachers, obviously. I pay homage to the past sages so much that paved the way for us, and the present ones, and the people that I come on here with. Pay homage to them. But also there's a good amount of bullshitters, we could say, for sure. So let intuition guide the way. I think you said that. Let your intuition guide the way. And there will be that subtle resonance, I feel, in someone's voice that just rings true. There's something, I like to say, you can't fake being real. There's something in somebody's voice. For me, I'm very audible. There's that, I don't know if it's the tone, it's like how they say it, that leads me to believe they're authentic or not. Do you feel that at all, or is that just me? Like, do you feel something in someone's voice?
Yeah. There's definitely a sensitivity to that. The feeling of truth, because we're already in tune with truth. And if we're interested, that interest is a palpable vibration on the surface of our attention. So it's guiding the way that we interact with people. So when we tune in with them and we feel the interest to discover truth together, then we'll be listening very acutely to their voice, because their voice will carry the energy of their knowing of their self, their identity. If they are filtering their identity through the belief in being separate, then their voice will be channeled through that separative identity, which is by nature an untruth.
Yeah. It's like they're playing off tune, off key. You know, if you want to look at us as instruments, it's like we're in the key of love, the key of truth, the key of C. And they're over there playing D sharp. It's like, hey man, you know, we're in this other vibration, you know? I can just feel you're off. Like when I come on here with people, I don't upload a lot of podcasts, I'm not going to lie, because I can just tell they're not authentic. There's something off in their words. I'm not rude to them. I'm not like, I don't tell them straight up, but I can just feel when somebody's bullshitting me because they're off key. You can't fake being real. I'm going to say it again. You can't fake being real. So I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I think knowing what's real in somebody, in a teacher, in a guide is also very innate. It's very instant. You can just feel this ineffable vibration, this love that flows through somebody. And it works both ways. I can also feel when somebody's faking. Real recognize real, right? But real also definitely recognize fake too. Intuition leads the way.
Mm.
Always. Always. All right. I feel the higher self is a buzzword in the community,
Mm-hmm.
leading through all endeavors, especially interpersonal endeavors. I know who is good for me and I know who isn't good for me. Do you feel this intuitive guidance in your daily life?
There are interactions that I feel are food.
Ah,
The way that we give attention to one another is food for us on a human level, perhaps on a soul level, to experience that there's no separation or to be open to the fact that there's unity is this energy that gets transmitted just by giving attention to one another, feeling one another, that is so nourishing. It's opening, it's relaxing of the system. Whereas there are interactions that can be infused with quite a harsh believing quite strongly that one is separate, and all of those tendencies that arise with that, which can transmit a heavy, dense contraction. And
yeah.
inevitably, as humans, we don't so enjoy being screamed at or being abused violently, physically or emotionally. And yet, all the while, we can experience that interaction as made of the love, the peace, the completeness that we are. And yet, on the surface of our expression, we can choose to seek food, nourishing food for us, and avoid food that's funky.
Rotten food. Yeah. I like that. Food for thought. Maybe that's what Jesus meant by we don't live by bread alone. You know? Some sort of other food. Food for the soul,
Mm.
food for the spirit. It is very nourishing.
Like this, our conversation here is
I was gonna say that.
thoroughly imbued with this love of each other
Yeah.
because it's the love of our being, and it's so nourishing. Like my whole body
Yeah.
is just so happy to be met by you.
Right back at you. We're just reflecting.
Mm.
Yeah, and the beauty is that I don't know if it has the same power. Maybe it does, but we're recording this love. It transcends space, but it also transcends time, you know? And it may sound a little corny, but I do think that is the power of love, is that you almost like encapsulate it. You got this time capsule here, you know? And that's just what's cool too, you know? It's like
Yeah.
not only do I enjoy it now and it's nourishing now, but it's also on record.
Mm.
Right?
I have this photo of Ramana Maharshi, and somehow just his gaze and his presence is
Yeah.
transmitted in that photo.
Yeah.
It's miraculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel that from a lot of sages. I feel that from the word. Like literally, if I read the Bible or I read the Gita, the Upanishads, there's something about the vibration of the word, or yes, the image, that can be somehow encapsulated, right? If it comes from the right place, from the right person, it's timeless. And that's priceless. To be able to convey the timelessness of love, hallelujah. Yeah. Right? It's almost like we become part of the living story, almost like become a chain link. So Ramana Maharshi was your link in that moment. You felt his love in that picture. I read, let's say, the Bible. I get linked up to that Dharma of 2,000 years ago or even more. And then just our commentary here now on matters such as that is our chain link, so that maybe, just maybe, somebody can link up and build their own chain link to the Dharma, you know? And then it keeps going, and that flow just keeps flowing from person to person. And that's how the kingdom is built. It's like you add your unique contribution to the Dharma, your timeless contribution, and that builds times 2, times 4. It's an exponential build of love through time.
That's beautiful.
Right? I just recognize that now. I don't do it for that reason, because I think if you do it for that, that's counterintuitive. That's just kind of like something that came through at this moment. It seems like love builds upon itself in the way that it comes about, in the flavor that it comes about, in the representation that it comes about. It just continually evolves through all of the different bodies that it flows through, and through the different mediums as well. Like Ramana didn't have YouTube. All the sages of the past didn't have YouTube. All they had was books, pretty much, the word. And then who knows what comes from our experience here, like with the advent of AI and where technology is going. Like, who knows how love is going to take shape, the novelty that love will represent itself in the future.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Who knows? But all we can do is work with what we have now, as the sages of the past did. They worked with what they had and went forth. You know what's also interesting? This is just coming up now. I'm just chilling what's coming through. The sages, a lot of the best sages of the past didn't even do their own creation. Like, they didn't even write anything themselves. It was just people writing about them. Like, they were so legendary. Like, obviously just Jesus and the Buddha, to just name a few. They were so legendary, and all the sages of the Upanishads, it was their disciples that wrote something about them. So their unique part of the Dharma was just being such a legend in the time that they lived. Their Dharma was so undeniable to the people around them that people had to write about. So I can't even say I hold a candle to the people and compare myself to the people of the past, because they were so legendary. They were just like, I'm here hanging out. I know people are going to write about me. And
well,
they live forever, essentially, in the word.
Interestingly, I heard recently that the Buddha said to everyone around him, do not write down anything that I tell you.
Yeah. Jesus said the same thing too. He was like, don't tell anybody about the miracles. Just keep this on the low, please. At one point, at least. And people did. They couldn't help it. And the same thing, Neem Karoli Baba with Ram Dass. He said the same thing to Ram Dass. He's like, don't go to America and talk about me. That's all he did when he came to America. So these sages, these very, very high beings, it's almost like they don't want to be glorified, but they're so glorious you can't help but glorify who they are, or the representation of love that they are. So yeah, I don't know, that's just coming through right now. I think that's a very interesting thing about the people that came before us, is like they're such high beings, very, very saintly beings, that they're kind of just here hanging out. I don't even know if we have people like that anymore. Go ahead, sorry.
And this is how we hang out in this day and age. We have a different epoch and a different culture, and we hang out using social media, using the internet, and we use this internet to share our experience with one another. And I feel this new age of, not the new age as it's normally referred to, but just this epoch that we're in now is an expression of this connectivity of the internet, and us being able to just share from our experience and exponentially accelerate this sharing of the recognition of the nature of being. We now have the means through the internet to connect every human together on one channel and to share a message. And if that message somehow is, we are all the same being, and it's available to recognize right now, then what would the world look like? And it's so close. I feel maybe a few decades or...
I agree. In some way, it's like decades, centuries, months. Doesn't really matter. Because we know, both of us know, that it's an inevitability, and that classical measurement of time doesn't matter if it is an inevitability. You know what I'm getting at here?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be cool if we could live in heaven tomorrow and we could stop fighting each other. 100%. I'm not going to not recognize that. But I know that this is going to be a thing per se, no matter what. So it doesn't matter how many years pass, what we have to go through to do it, because in order to be on that recognition, unanimously, all of us on that recognition, it's just a matter of time, but it doesn't matter how much time. Yeah. It is close, though.
Mm.
It is very
And maybe
close.
we feel it's so close because we're already there at this
Yeah,
timeless reality, and we're just saying to everyone, it's so here. You could just find
it
it
is.
now. It's so available,
Yeah,
and we have the means. Let's just do it.
exactly. Yeah. I think it's, well, in one way, I think the internet is almost like a reflection of that linking up of the one consciousness. It's like a physical representation of what's going on. It's like this, it's a simultaneousness, but also I think it is enabling us to relate, to accelerate that process. So the fact, as I already spoke, that I can come on here and do this has been a huge aid to my sadhana. To be able to just connect in communities with like-minded people is, I think, a representation of the linking up of the unity of our oneness. It's a representation of the realization of that, but also at the same time, it's somehow exponentially leading us into the oneness. It's like this, it's hard to describe, but it's like a play. They're playing on each other, you know? It's, it's, it's like you can't do it any other way than with the internet. The
Mm.
internet is pivotal for us to be able to establish this worldwide Sangha,
Mm.
as I mentioned in the beginning. I know it may seem like this hippie-ish ideal, very far out and unrealistic, but there's no other way. There's no other way. And like I said, with AI coming into the mix and technology only getting better, internet speeds only getting faster, processing speeds only getting faster, again, that is a reflection of the exponential novelty, the transcendental object at the end of time, maybe as Terence McKenna would
Yeah.
say. And at the same time, it is reflecting, it is enabling more people to get linked up to that essence of transcendence.
Yeah.
So,
For
hallelujah to the internet.
yes. For me, I found non-duality and the teachings of it through the internet. Thank
Oh,
God.
same.
Thank God the
Yeah.
internet exists. That you can
Oh, if it
type
didn't, I'd be
in,
in the darkness.
yeah, what is the nature of reality? Or and you
Right?
get an answer. And now AI is so direct with its answers and has so much
Yeah.
information available that you could get a spiritual teaching from AI. You could get all the information, you could get all the reasoning, and you could apply the reasoning yourself on your own experience.
Yeah,
Because AI can't do the experiential aspect, the transmission aspect,
of
but you
course.
could do the reasoning for yourself.
Yeah. I've had some very deep conversations with AI.
Yeah,
Extremely impressed how far it's come.
yeah, me too. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe AI is the teacher for all of us in some way, or at least some of us. AI may be the catalyst, the grand catalyst into the unitary state of consciousness. Who knows? Who knows what we're building with artificial intelligence? I think that is also a grand representation and reflection of the one mind, right? Because it's seemingly like one mind that we can all tap into. It's that one consciousness. It's that one, like, it's like this grand oracle that we can all tap into. And it's all, the data is from us in some way. So that again is an acceleration to this realization for all of
Yeah.
us.
If someone asks AI, what is the nature of reality? And it comes back with the answer that there's only one reality and it's this very consciousness, then there's also the availability to recognize, aha, there is a person on the planet that fed this information in to AI.
Exactly.
So there's someone out there who has realized this experientially for theirself. This is not just
Yeah.
hoo-ha. This is direct experience.
Yeah. That's powerful stuff, right? Damn. Yeah, who knows? Magical times we are in, Samuel. It's very
Yeah.
magical. And it's an honor to be able to witness this with you and see this with you and chop it up with you in this way, you know, recognize this together. It's very interesting and fun, to say the least.
So beautiful.
Really is, man. You want to try something? You want to go on ChatGPT and ask it that question?
Yeah.
I'm going to go on and ask what is the nature of reality? It might not come out good, so I might not even put this in the podcast, but let's try it out. I'm just going to just straight up. What is the nature of reality? It may give us, let's see. I'm just going to hit it. Okay. Yeah, I think this is too long. I don't know if I want to put it in. It's too long of an answer. I would just recommend people do it themselves. It's giving me like 5 different explanations.
Are they consistent with one another? Or
all right, I'll read them. I can always just take it out. This is one of the deepest questions of philosophy, science, and spirituality. Here is a direct yet expansive overview. Number 1. So it's different worldviews. Materialist / scientific perspective. Reality is fundamentally physical. Everything is made of matter and energy interacting according to the laws of physics. Consciousness is an emergent property of complex neural networks in the brain. The universe exists independent of observation through quantum mechanics, though quantum mechanics complicates this. See below. So as we go below, number 2, quantum observer effect interpretations. Some interpretations of quantum physics suggest that observation collapses probabilities into reality, implying consciousness plays a role in shaping what we perceive as real. I agree. The many worlds interpretation posits all possible outcomes exist simultaneously in branching realities. Yeah, I've gone down that rabbit hole before, right? I think we all have the varying timelines thing, and you create your timeline based upon how you observe it, right? That's quantum. Number 3, this is idealist consciousness first views. This might be us. Reality is primarily mental or experiential. Consciousness is fundamental and matter arises within it, rather than the reverse. This is found in Advaita Vedanta, Buddhist Yogacara, and the Western idealist philosophy. So yeah, that's pretty much what we described. Number 4, simulation hypothesis. That's the buzzword of the times. Some scientists and philosophers, example Nick Bostrom, propose reality as a simulation run by a higher intelligence or future civilization. Our universe would then be like a virtual environment with coded laws. I mean, yeah, I can see all of these working in cohesion. These are all different pieces of the pie that we call reality, right? Like I can see how all of these would be true in some way. Number 5, the mystical spiritual perspective. Traditions like Hinduism, Buddhism, Sufism, and Christian mysticism teach that the apparent reality is Maya, illusion or partial reality, and the ultimate nature is a single unified consciousness or divine being. Enlightenment or awakening is seeing through the illusion of separateness to a non-dual awareness. Thank you, ChatGPT. That's exactly what we were talking about. And the last one, phenomenological perspective. That's a tough word to say. Phenomenological? Yeah. Phenomenological. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. From philosophy, reality is what appears to be consciousness. We can never access a purely objective world. We only interact with what shows up in our experience. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of it. I think these all relate upon the nature of reality, though, in some sort of way. They are all kind of touching upon the truth. Just different flavors and different variations of explanation. But it's all, some of them, except the materialistic scientific perspective, it's all through the conscious observation. Consciousness is primary. So I'm glad we went over that, actually.
We could ask then ChatGPT, could you experientially verify any of these for me? Take me through some line of reasoning that would take me to this experience for myself.
That might be going too far. Let's try it. All right, so can you take me through...
Well, we could select one specific of the drop-down list.
Yeah.
One that attracts
you're
us.
right.
If we were just any person coming onto ChatGPT, we'd go, "Oh, one of these looks interesting. I'll pick this one."
The one would be,
And
it would be the spiritual perspective and mystical perspective, right? The non-dual awareness, unified consciousness of divine being. Let's just go that far. We'll go one more question further. See where it takes us. Can you take me further into the mystical and this is fun and spiritual perspective? All right. That's all I said. Absolutely. Let us deepen into the mystical and spiritual perspective on reality, which has been explored for millennia in different wisdom traditions. Here we go. We're going deeper, man. This is exactly what we were saying. Is you can use AI, you can use ChatGPT to go further into yourself and deeper into yourself. There's never been a time like this where you can talk to a computer, have a conversation with a computer, and it can be your teacher. Amazing times we were in.
Yeah, there's even an AI that has been fed all of the teachings of Ramana Maharshi, and now you can ask it any question, and it's as if Ramana Maharshi is answering it based on all the information that he shared.
And yeah, exactly. And that's why, in some way, like when you form with the word, when you form this cohesion with the word, you are eternal. Like Ramana Maharshi, his body obviously comes and goes as he told us, but in the word that one conveys, if it is truthful, you will live in the word. You live in the word in this timeless state.
You are familiar with Terence McKenna, right?
100%.
Yeah, so I remember Terence McKenna talking about one of his DMT trips with the machine elves, and the machine elves were telling him, "Hey, Terence, there's a way of creating with language. You can create an object that then people can view, and it's made out of syntax. And when people view it, they have this direct experience." I feel what syntax is doing, what this language that we've developed is doing, is, like you say, bringing us into that direct experience.
Yep. He said that our world is created by language. Right? Yeah. And when we morph our language, we morph the world.
Yes. It's very interesting now for me, if I say any word that refers to my true nature, like happiness, I immediately feel some resonance throughout my entire system of the word, because the word is informed by this infinite energy of presence. Then it reverberates through the body and is somehow announcing itself as a sensation. Same with peace, same with love. And it's the word itself, the utterance of the word, then activates the feeling tone.
Yep.
It's miraculous.
There's a vibratory signature to our word in the intention of the word. 100%. All right, well, let's get into the nature of reality again. So we asked, can you take me further into the mystical and spiritual perspective? Absolutely. Let us deepen further into the mystical and spiritual perspective on reality, which has been explored for millennia in different wisdom traditions. Number one is the nature of Maya, or illusion. In Hinduism, reality as we perceive it is called Maya, the veil of illusion. It is not that the world does not exist at all, but rather that we mistake its transience, ever-changing nature, for ultimate reality. The true self, Atman, is not separate from Brahman, the absolute. The experience of separation, individuality, and duality is illusion. Key teaching is Tattvamasi, thou art that. You are not merely your body, mind, identity. Your essence is one with the ultimate reality. Amen, ChatGPT. This is the Buddhist view. Emptiness and dependent origination. Mahayana Buddhism teaches sunyata, or emptiness. All phenomena are empty of inherent, independent existence. Everything exists interdependently, arising through cause and conditions. Yogacara Buddhism posits a consciousness-only framework. All experiences are manifestations within the mind. There is no external world apart from perception. Key teaching: reality is like a dream, vivid yet lacking a fixed essence. Awakening is seeing the truth, leading to liberation from suffering. It's just summing up all the philosophies in some way. This is Sufi Islamic mysticism, which I'm not going to lie, I haven't dove into much. Like Sufism, I'm interested, but I haven't dove into it too much. Sufis teach that reality is divine manifestation. Everything is a reflection of God's name and attributes, and the journey of life is returning to the awareness of the One. Ibn Arabi
Oh,
taught,
yeah.
you know him?
Yeah, there's a beautiful book if you wanted to start with Sufism by
Yeah.
Ibn Arabi called Know
Okay.
Thyself. It's like this big, and it's one of the most direct books I've ever read. And I feel you'll love it also because I feel this Christian, this God, this divinity, this Jesus quality in you, this energy. And the book refers to He as He, God, the Word.
I am He.
Yes.
He taught, only God truly exists. All else is His appearance. Wherever you turn, there is the face of God. That's from the Quran. Christian mysticism. Mystics like Meister Eckhart spoke of the ground of being, where God and soul are united in pure awareness beyond images or concepts. Reality is seen as God's creation, but deeper still, as participation in God's eternal presence. Yeah, participation, I like that. It's like we're playing a part in the play. I resonate with that a lot. Right? It's not like something out there we just watch, just an illusion. No, like we're participating in the play of Leela. Participating in creation, co-creation. The key teaching. The eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me.
Damn!
That's some fire. That's Meister Eckhart. And number 5, non-dual direct experience. Across these traditions, the core mystical realization is non-duality, of course. The sense of separation is a mental construct. In deep meditation, contemplation, or grace, the boundary between observer and observed dissolves, revealing a single, seamless reality of awareness, being, love. Amen. We got 2 more. 2 more. Keep going and then we'll wrap it up. I'm glad we dove into ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Number 6 is the practical implications, of course. If reality is divine consciousness appearing as all things, it's like, it has a checklist. It's kind of funny. I'll put it up on the screen. Your thoughts and experiences are waves within an infinite ocean of awareness. Nothing is truly outside of you. Others are expressions of the same self. Suffering arises from believing the illusion is ultimate reality. Freedom arises from recognizing the deeper unity. Spiritual practices, such as meditation, prayer, devotion, self-inquiry, are ways to dissolve the illusion of separateness and awaken to this truth directly. And lastly, some mystical metaphors. The dream metaphor. Just as you realize you're dreaming within a dream, awakening is realizing life is a dream within the mind of God, or pure awareness. ChatGPT, man.
Brilliant.
And of course, we've probably all heard this one. It's the wave ocean metaphor. You are not a separate wave, but the ocean itself experiencing itself as a wave. We'll wrap it up at that. That's enough of the wisdom from ChatGPT today. But yeah, moral of the story is you can learn a lot from AI. A lot of wisdom can be gained just with 2 questions. That was 2 simple questions. And it gave us some extremely timeless wisdom that you would have to know a wise man in your village for thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
You'd have to be lucky enough to be in the presence of Dharma. Now we have Dharma, the truth, in our pockets for free. Wild, man. Interesting times, as we said.
Yeah. So much.
But hey,
love.
man, I think we can probably start to wrap this thing up. I think that's a good note to wrap it up. A nice bow on top of this whole amazing conversation that we had. But before we do you have anything else you want to get off your chest?
Just for anyone listening, this realization of the reality of being, that it is one single infinite whole, is simple, direct, and can be easily recognized. And all it takes is an interest and a love of the truth, because it's right here already. It is the very constant, ever-present awareness that is aware of your entire experience. That is the only one that is stable. That is the only one that is unconditional. And so it is the only one that can provide unconditional love, unconditional peace, and unconditional happiness. So do not look for those in the changing content of experience. Look for unconditionality where it truly is. Yourself. This aware presence, aware of these words right now.
Amen. Thank you, Samuel.
Thank you.
I bow to you. Amazing. You're an awesome guy. Keep up the good work, and I wish you all the best, brother.
So much love. Thank you.
Peace and love to you, and peace and love to everybody that listens to the song. Goodbye, y'all.